Live, where news comes first. This is WECT News.
Hello and thanks so much for staying with us for WECT News at 5:30. I'm JC Caldwell. Continuing coverage of a high-profile murder trial in New Hanover County. Raquel Adams charged with killing 2 people at the home of an executive of True Colors Brewing back in 2021. WECT's Ariana Bertolotti in the courtroom once again today. Ariana, opening statements were expected to happen today, but that didn't happen after all.
They did not, JC, and that's because another juror was released due to personal reasons, sending the process back to jury selection. Now, that's the second time a juror has been released from the case after being seated. Remember, opening statements were supposed to happen yesterday, but another juror was released over the weekend due to personal reasons. It's only added to what has been a lengthy jury selection process and further delayed the double murder trial of Raquel Adams. The trial had already been delayed twice before for various reasons. Now, this afternoon, the court set the final juror. So, barring any setbacks, the trial should move forward with opening statements tomorrow morning. Ariana Bertolotti, WECT News.